Dear friends, I am Aniket and this is our AI agent project Vox Analyst. In today's world, mental health is becoming a global challenge and this issue is becoming graver day by day. So now we have tried to design a solution to counter this challenge. Now the challenges or the problems with the traditional psychiatric consultation for tackling mental health is that first of all the patients or the individuals are very hesitant or shy to open up in front of a stranger psychiatrist or a counselor. So the counselor fails to get the real root cause of the problem. This can be due to many reasons, that is because of social stigma, because of the fear of being judged at. The patient do not open up that openly. Second issue is that in most cases this psychiatric problem is very deep and the psychiatrist need multiple sessions to listen to the patient carefully and analyze his problem. So it increases the burden or the workload on the psychiatrist a lot. And not only that, since it is multiple session therapy, the patient has to visit the doctor multiple times, so he has to pay the hefty fees every time he goes for the visit. So these are the issues in our traditional psychiatric consultation and they are really very problematic issues and we need to deal with them properly. So we have designed an agentic framework which will aid to mitigate some of the issues or the challenges described above. So this is the proposed architecture of our agentic AI solution. What we intend to do is that we first take the video recording of the patient talking with a virtual psychiatric bot, okay, and then transcribe the audio as well as we will also record his facial expression for any clues for mental health. This transcription will then be summarized by an Gemini model to get a concise summary of the overall conversation. Okay. Then this summary will be passed to an agent which will make some kind of soft decisions like the reason behind that mental issue or whether this patient is having any suicidal thought or that any kind of suicidal thought or that kind of decisions it will take, and then the summary and these decisions will be passed in a proper neat format to the doctor for further diagnosis. Note that this soft decision or soft inferencing is basic indication of mental condition. Okay, it is not a concrete proof. Since mental health is a global challenge and is a very sensitive issue, the final decision should be made by a human expert only, not by some agentic AI. That's why it's a soft inferencing or soft indication. Now we will look at each of these parts and discuss them in details. So the first part is audio and video transcription. So here what happens is that this transcribed video code, it takes, okay, this takes a input video which contains the video of the patient interacting with a psychiatric chatbot, and then it analyzes the expression using some Gemini model and stores the analysis of the facial expression in this file, that is file expression transcription, and the audio transcription of the video in this particular file, that is audio output transaction. Okay, the Gemini model used here is Gemini 2.0 Flash. Okay, and the Gemini model for capturing the facial expression used is Gemini 1.5 Flash. Okay. So once we run this function, what happens is that for each frame of 2 seconds duration, the facial expression is being caught. Okay, and then a final summary of all this facial expression is stored in this particular file, and consequently the audio transcription, that is the whole conversation, is being recorded in text format in this particular transcription video to audio file. Okay, in the next step we take the two files and merge them into a single one. Okay, so the audio transcription as well as the facial expression analysis are stored in this file, which will be used for further analysis. Okay, so the next step is summarization of this file which you obtained in the previous step. So in this step we try to summarize the whole conversation as well as the facial expression analysis. So this is the code for that. Okay, so we use Gemini 1.5 Pro latest for this task. So first of all, we extract all the salient features from the particular file which we obtained in the last step. Okay, for example, behavioral pattern, social interaction, facial expression, the key concerns expressed. Okay, and write them in proper JSON format. So after saving this file, we further analyze it, okay, to get even more detailed and insightful results. Okay, so in simple words, this function summarize transcript is a basic function which neatly records all the salient features of the conversation in this JSON format. Now to read this JSON format and gives further insights and further and deeper insights, we have this get detailed psychological assessment. Okay, so what it does is that it gives even more detailed insights based on this previous JSON file which we got, like the potential psychological condition, confidence level for each condition, follow-ups, etc. And this is being stored as a JSON file again, which is properly displayed in neat format in the markdown cell. So when you run everything, see beautifully all the potential dangers are being saved in proper markdown format. See, and our also the overall assessment is stored properly in sample assessment.json file. Okay, and this file will be used later for PDF generation. Now the third part, or part C, is retrieval augmented generation and embeddings. Here we have some data set which contains potential disorder and their symptoms in binary format, that is yes or no. So using this data set we can analyze the symptoms and find out which of the disorder the particular patient is suffering from. So we did that. Okay, each row can be considered as a document, and that document is stored in document is first converted to embeddings using text embedding 004 model, and they are stored in chromadb. Okay, now we fetch the required document based on the summary by giving a prompt, okay, and we fetch all the documents which is relevant to a particular query or this summary, okay. For example, this is an example query and these are the documents we have received, and so the model has quite in details given all the explanation of its retrieval and its final soft reason, what it thinks. This can be done on this summary which is being generated by our summarizer module, okay, and here is the detailed analysis of that. In the next part we will do suicidal thought prediction based on the summary generated. So we have a data set which contains text and the label whether this text indicates suicide or not, okay. So we first created the embeddings of this text data, okay, and after creating the embeddings we try to build a classification model using Keras. This is the model summary, okay, it has 2 hidden layers, and based on this model we'll perform the training, okay, we perform the training for 20 epochs to train it to classify whether a statement is suicidal or not. So this is a particular sentence and this is the result. So suppose this is the statement and this is the result we get. Third is we are deducing the reason for mental disorder, okay. So this disorder might happen for various reasons like relationship issues, financial stress, etc. So this data set contains the problem description or simple was the text or the statement and the reason behind it. So this is similar to the previous module, okay, where we generate the embeddings, okay, we generate the embeddings, and based on these embeddings we use a classifier model, the same classifier model in the last step, to predict the reason for a particular depressive illness observed in the patient. So here you can see the results. Now after all these things are done, we will finally aggregate all the data into proper PDF format, okay. So this is the PDF format we are aggregating to the summary and all the solved reasoning, that is whether the thought is suicidal, the reason behind depression and the semantic similarity based document retrieval. Everything is being consolidated here and saved as PDF, okay. So in the output this is the PDF form, okay. We can download it and see. So see, this PDF contains all the summary of whatever we have summarized and all the soft reasoning in proper format. This summary will be sent to the doctor for analysis, okay. So this was our project, and as future work we are trying to build a app, okay. Kindly, this is in interactive notebook format. We are trying to build an app, and also we want to expand our knowledge base for better RAG capabilities, for enhanced soft reasoning performance. So that's our project. Thanks a lot.